Hello. Thought I would do a little chatty catch-up type video where I just talk shit for about 15-20 minutes. So if you're not interested in listening to me chat shit and update you all, then I'll just turn off now. I would go get myself a cup of tea, but I'm leaving for work soon. I've just shoved my brother's jumper on. Sorry, Cole, you don't even know I've got this. But I've just shoved Corey's jumper on because in a minute I've got to chuck my uniform on and go to work. So I thought I'd just start talking about kind of a catch up with me first. If you have me on like Instagram or anything like that, even with YouTube, starting up YouTube again, because obviously we've just done 2 videos. This would be the 3rd since we started back, I think. You'll see that I feel like I've had like a bit of a transformation from when we were filming before to filming now. Obviously, as I've been going on about loads and loads and loads in the videos, I have been dieting. I've lost a lot of weight. So when I had Callow, I gained 4 pounds. I wish. 4 pounds. Okay, no, I didn't gain 4 pounds. I gained 4 stone. So I was very heavy and it really knocked my confidence massively. I've never ever felt more ugly. I was alright once I just had her. For the first year when I was on maternity leave and stuff, I didn't care. I was like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm just going to enjoy my maternity leave. And I did. I went Costa. I ate cake. I ate 3 meals a day. Big meals a day. And I didn't watch my calorie count at all. I just enjoyed my maternity leave. But as soon as my maternity leave stopped and I went back to work, I was in for a big shock. My confidence just plummeted. And I think that's one of the reasons I never wanted to pick up the camera, is because I never wanted to look at myself. I've always struggled with my weight and the way I look. I've never had an issue with what people think about me in terms of my personality and how I am as a person. Never ever given a shit about that. But I always have cared about the way I look and how people see me, and if people think I'm like, in my head, I feel like people see me as this like really big girl walking down the street. Like me and my brothers and my mum and that always used to joke, because I always used to say like my name makes me think of like, here comes Beth. And I come plodding down the street, which was true after I'd had a baby. I've been really trying to work on my perception of myself. Like in my head, what I see, I'm trying to change. And I think slowly it's been working, because as I've been dieting, I've been gaining confidence, and I think I'm bigger now than I ever was before I had Callow, but I've got way more confidence now, because even before I had Callow, I had no confidence, and I would hide my belly and hide all of my body under big baggy clothes. Like when I worked in Selfridges, the girls from work, if they're watching this, will laugh at this, mentioning Selfridges again, as I always do. When I worked in Selfridges, I always used to use massive shirts to cover all my hips and my bum, and like I'd make sure the shirts came but past my bum, because in my head I was like, my bum's unattractive because it's massive. I know I've got a fat ass, but I never liked it, and I thought, oh my god, it's huge. Like people will be seeing me in Selfridges, like customers, and be like, oh god, like she needs to wear something bigger than what she's wearing or whatever. Anyway, I gained a little bit of confidence towards the end. I remember there's a clip of me in one of the vlogs where I'm wearing like high-waisted jeans with like a little top tucked in. That's actually when I met the Mitchells. They're a family on YouTube. But I gained a bit of confidence, and I remember I always used to ask Mo, a guy I worked with called Mo, I always used to ask Mo, do I, you know, does my belly look fat? Like, do I need to tuck it in? Like, how much weight do I need to lose to not get this pouch? Like, what do you think my arms look? I think I remember having a specific conversation with him where I spoke about my belly and the trousers, and I was like, how much do you think I need to suck it in than what I am now? You know, I was always thinking about it all the time. I've gone off on a bit of a tangent here, haven't I? Anyway, recently I've been trying to transform the way I think about myself, and I think, as everybody says anyway, it does start with in your head and with yourself, because I always thought that by watching the scales and by watching that number go down, that would make me feel better. But actually, I haven't lost any weight for weeks now. I've just like kind of come to a bit of a, is it plateau? Stance is still. With my weight, I'm 10 stone 4 at the moment, which is a lot really, considering I was only 8 stone 13, 9 stone before I'd had Callow. So I've got a lot to go. That's what I'm trying to aim for. But like I say, I feel better now at that weight than I did then. I spoke to a girl called Lauren, who lives in Stone. I've got a snotty nose, I think I'm getting ill. And she does all like fitness stuff, and she was like a bodybuilder, or she is like a, not bodybuilder, but, oh, sorry Lauren if you're watching this, but you do all fitness stuff, and she's got like an amazing body. Everybody says it, like she's got an incredible body and she looks great. And I always used to look at her photos and think, oh my God, like if I was not lazy, I could look like that. But anyway, recently I had a conversation with her, and she said to me about throwing away my scales. Don't worry about the scales and what it says. It's about what you think about yourself, and it's in your head. And as long as you feel fit and healthy and you like what you see in the mirror, what does it matter what the scales say? And ever since I listened to that, my confidence has literally like rocketed. If you've got me on Instagram, I know I've just said that a million times and never actually got to the point, but if you've got me on Instagram, I've been uploading like selfies, which is a big thing for me, because usually my selfie would be with my daughter. So I love posing with my daughter because I'll be like, look how cute she is. So even if I look ugly, she looks cute. Or if I'm with Josh, he's my security blanket, because I can pose with Josh and it's like a nice couple photo, it's not just me. But when it's like a photo of just me, obviously when people see that, there's nothing else to look at, it's just my face. And even some of the selfies have had my body in, which is a massive thing, but I'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, recently I've been trying to be extra confident. I think maybe too confident. I did get a bit cocky last week. I think I uploaded 3 selfies in 1 week. I hate even saying that word, I sound like a child, but yeah, 3 selfies in 1 week. And then I actually started to get a bit of anxiety, and I messaged my mate Brom and was like, Bronwyn, help. I think I'm hyperventilating and I need to delete all my selfies, because I feel like everybody's looking at them and being like, why does Beth Warren think she's good looking when she's actually but ugly? In my head, that's what I was doing. I've left them up. But the bit that I said that I was going to get to about like the full length photos, for me that is like a massive thing, because I don't think I have ever had, since I've been an adult and not like 15 and going to a club with Jodie. A club. If you're from Stone, you'll realise how funny that is, to Wetherspoons. But yeah, ever. Like, I just don't have full length photos. I've never been confident in my hips. My hips have been like a massive thing for me, and I know this is going to sound daft and how many people are going to roll their eyes at this, but the Kardashians made me confident about my hips recently, honestly, because I see photos of them and I'm like, well, they've got hips. I mean, granted, mine aren't as good at all, but they've got hips and everybody loves their hips, so why shouldn't I embrace mine? And there's also a girl on Instagram that I know, she's from Stoke, but or Newcastle, and I know her from Selfridges though. So Jade, she's like got a figure like mine, in the sense of like she's got like hips, and she embraces them so well. And I look at her photos on Instagram and I'm like, bloody hell, like I need to start embracing mine. Why am I hiding away something that I literally cannot change? I've always had big hips through school. I've always had a big ass and big hips, and there was nothing I could do about it. And that's when the cogs started ticking and going over. So I uploaded a photograph of myself from mine and Josh's anniversary onto my Instagram, where I'm like full length in it. And I got the world's most nice comments ever. I've never ever got a response like that on a photo of myself, or a photo ever in general. So many comments are from so many lovely women. Like, I have so many amazing women in my life that are like really close to me, like all my best friends. But there's like this outer, like they're not like best friends, they're like, would you say acquaintances? I feel like acquaintances isn't enough, but like friends, people that you have on Instagram that you know from around town or from different walks of your life, but you always like each other's stuff and comment. Well, all those people were like commenting on my photos saying how amazing I looked, and I can't, it literally made me feel like a different person. I was like, what the hell, like why do they like that photo? I still to this day don't look at that photo and think it's nice, but people were saying like my figure looked amazing, and I was like, what? Because Josh always says that, and Bronwyn, one of my best friends, she says that, and that's what made me upload the photograph, because I was like, well, if they think it looks good, somebody else might think it looks good. And then I kind of wanted to scream out like, I'm not fat anymore. That's kind of where I was coming from. It was like a picture that was like, no, look, like I've lost loads of weight, I'm feeling quite proud of myself. Then from there, it's made me want to do YouTube again, getting back to the point of body confidence and why I started talking about this. That's where my focus has fully been, is getting back to me and not being just a mum, because when you have a baby, you'll know. And one of my good friends from work, Brittany, she's due to have a baby very soon, actually in February, And it's not to say to scare women like Brit that are just coming up to having a baby. It's just, you do lose yourself a bit, but in a lovely, like, magical way, because you just devote yourself to a baby. Like, you become their mum and that is it. All you want to do is give them the best life and make sure they're the happiest they can be, which means you do lose yourself a bit, and it takes a while to get yourself back. And I'm just now getting to the point where I feel like, even though I'm not at the weight that I want to be, I'm at a weight that I'm happy with. I feel the most confident, honestly, genuinely, I've ever felt in my life in clothes. Like, I'm putting on a pair of jeans and not thinking, bloody hell, your hips are like disgusting. And that feels amazing. I'm wearing like tops that I'm not like grabbing the bits of my arm like your little bingo wing and being like, I can't wear this top because my arms aren't like stick thin like my wrists. It's just been feeling really good. And I think a part of that, I've got to say thank you to some of the girls at work, because the girls at work, when I started in my job that I currently work in at the dentist's, really built me up. I feel like I was in a place where I didn't think anybody, oh, that's a bit emotional, don't know why I'm getting emotional. I was in a place where I felt like I wasn't noticeable anymore. Like, I've always been walking down the street, I'd always had bright hair like growing up, and I always felt like I wanted to dress well, I wanted to have like nice outfits on, or nice shoes or handbags. Like, I wanted to have nice things around me, and I wanted to be noticeable in the sense of like, oh, Beth looks nice, or oh, Beth's hair colour's cool. But I felt like I'd gone into a place like, is it a shrinking violet? A spiritualist actually said that to me recently, but like a shrinking violet kind of makes sense actually now why they said it, because it didn't at the time, but now it does. But it felt like, if that is the right saying, like a shrinking violet, like, no, I felt like nobody noticed me anymore, and I felt like any conversation I ever had was about Callow. I didn't feel like walking down the street anyone would say, oh, there's Beth. It was like, oh, Callow, you know, I just felt invisible. And what's been great is that the girls really built me up again. And I remember we had this group chat going for a while, and they'd be like, Beth, you look amazing, like, and oh, you're so pretty, Beth, shut up, like, you know, just telling me to shut up when I was putting myself down. And I remember Brit once, I sent a picture of my belly into the WhatsApp group going, yeah, well, you guys moaning, like, look at my belly. And I remember Brit saying, oh, I think that's so cute, like, you've got like a little like skin for, like, I've got like, you know, the flappy belly baby skin. And Brit was like, God, how many women would kill for that, to say they've had a baby naturally? I thought, bloody hell, yeah, what am I moaning at? So I owe it to them as well for helping me for building me up. And Josh, obviously, I could be literally 50 stone and he would still bloody roll me out the room and tell me I look sexy. For me, coming back onto YouTube has been a big thing, and I went through a stage where I didn't think we were going to, and we'd upload videos here and there on when we could be bothered to film, but now I really feel like the oomph to go for it again, and I feel confident to be in front of the camera, and I don't feel like I need to hide away. So yeah, anyway, coming back to the main thing, it's in my life, there's nothing much more to talk about other than my body confidence, because that is where I have been at. My life has been focused for at least 6 months around body confidence, about changing my mindset about myself, working on myself, and I really feel like going into 2020, this year's for me. I know like probably everybody fucking says that, but I do feel like this year's for me. Like, I want to focus on my psychic stuff, I want to focus on my mediumship, I want to focus on getting myself to a place where I feel fit and healthy and confident. And obviously, like, just life throws like pitfalls, and I'm not going to be on this big high for the whole of 2020, but I just want it to be more of a positive year for myself, because I think the last year, although it's been great and I've enjoyed thoroughly bringing up Callow, it's been amazing this past year with her, I think I've just abused myself in my head, like, every day. When you're calling yourself ugly and horrible enough times every single day, when you look in the mirror, it's all of a sudden you believe it fully to the point where you don't even like yourself the way you look. So I really feel like going into 2020, this is what I want to focus on. And that's kind of it for me. I would say that's the only thing. So I have spoke for 15 minutes solely about body confidence. Maybe I should make this into a body confidence video. I feel like it's gonna have to be. I hope you enjoyed listening to me. I'm sorry if it's not been, you know, overly interesting, because all I've spoke about is basically the way I feel about myself. Anyway, I will, oh, my tattoo's dead itchy, that's one thing. So I've got this butterfly tattoo, and it keeps raising and going dead itchy, you know, like it does in summer. If you've got tattoos, you'll know when your tattoos raise, but my whole butterfly, just the butterfly, nothing else, raised and itchy, and I think it's the temperature or the weather or something in it, honestly. I want to die, it's so annoying. But anyway, yeah, lovely chatting to you, and I wasn't chatting to her, I was talking to the camera. Lovely talking and expressing the way I feel to no one. And we'll see you in the next vlog. Bye.